in the playoffs this year where the Frontenacs have turned up that physical gear. Day and Rasanen back in their own zone. Rasanen skating it up ice for the Frontenacs. Crosses center ice. Hits a speeding Max Jones. Quick snapshot. Easy blocker save for Caden Fulcher and the Hamilton netminders in the game. Jones picks up the loose puck, rolls to Newman. Quick shot, wide on the glove side. Down from the point comes Rasanen. He'll poke it into the corner. Jones looking for the loose puck, comes to Sagen. He'll just backhand it ahead shortly for Thomas. He'll dump and head off to the bench. Day after the loose puck, gives it to Rasanen. Takes a bump from Isaac Nurse for his troubles. Linus Newman at center ice. Couldn't do much with it. Turned over right to Tyler Burney. Burney across the blue line. Off wing. Snapshot right into that Bulldogs logo. He'll hold on and will get a draw to the left of the Hamilton netminder tip.
And that is Caden Fulcher, who, like Jeremy Helbig, has played every game. This is his 14th start of the playoffs with a .916 save percentage. So he has been outstanding through the entire playoffs, and especially in this series.
Made perhaps the save of all of the playoff games this year in the last game here in Kingston the other night. Puck goes to the end boards. also agree not to use them?
Yes,
if we could avoid it?
that's why we were practicing,
Perfect,
so we wouldn't use them.
Yes. Sagen has it off the face-off, and he'll play it back to defenseman Ben Gleason, and he'll retreat behind his own cage and set things up from there. Quickly circles out, brings it up ice, heads to the far side, drops it for Sagen. Thomas to the blue line, chipped in, blocked there by Brotny. Gleason over to Thomas, far side. Sagen couldn't handle the pass. Hamilton on the power play for another minute 45 or less. Back to the point to Gleason. He'll skate the blue line, has a look around, gives it back to Thomas. Far side in the skates of Sagen. All the way back over to Thomas, back to Gleason. Wrist shot, that's blocked by Ryan Cranford. Thomas has got to be careful at the blue line, just plays it behind the net for Matthew Strome. Strome to Entwistle. Entwistle turns, side of the net. Strome tries the one move, pushes it up in the air off the side of the net, and is cross-checked to the ice for his troubles by Jacob Paquette. Sagen leaves it at the top of the circle. Gleason goes to get it. Gets down to the hash mark, turns away from Brotny. All the way over to Thomas. 1 minute left to go in the power play for Hamilton. Cross ice pass goes off of Cranford. Thomas out front, off a stick, comes to Cranford. He's got to be careful now. He'll skate it out of the zone. Cranford off the skate of Gleason. Takes it to the inboards, tries to control the puck. He's out of gas, and he'll head to the bench. Good work there by the veteran Hamilton, or make that Kingston forward. Out to center ice it goes. Sagen looked up and missed the puck, and now Kingston controls all the way back in their zone. Byrne gives it over to Day. Day throws it to an open wing, and down the ice it goes. 25 seconds left in the Hamilton power play. This should give Kingston some momentum if they can kill this off here. Ryan Moore leaves it for Bitten. Habs draft pick across the blue line. Kaliev pushes it the rest of the way in the corner. Byrne engages with his man. Kaliev in there looking for the loose puck. Squirts free. Moore has it. Back to the point. Stillman. Back to Moore. Penalty almost over. All the way back to Stillman. Out of the box comes Matt Hotchkiss. That shot, I think, might have hit Will Bitten in the backside. Up the middle it goes to Hotchkiss. Breakaway. Hotchkiss, great move. Oh, what a save by Caden Fulcher. Hotchkiss got the goalie down, but he couldn't lift the puck high enough and couldn't get it over that left pad. And that is twice in the last 2 games that Caden Fulcher has robbed the front net.
Well, we'll have another look at this, and what a save. And he had all the time. But as you're right, Scott, he just couldn't get that puck high enough. We'll see this. He's in the neutral zone, out of the box. Does a great job controlling the puck, but look at that. Just get that low.
Okay, so
that hurt my hamstring just watching that.
So I got to ask you, you're the former coach in the booth. When the goalie is smashing his stick on the ice, what is that for?
Well, it means the penalty's coming up over.
And so there's a guy coming out of the box.
But the other thing, it's not just that. Your guys in the ice got to be getting help from the bench as well.
Well,
that's usually the assistant coach's job.
Nobody was paying any attention to Matt Hotchkiss. I'll go all the way down to the Kingston end. Squirts out of the corner, far side now.
Well, I think Hamilton got a little greedy. If you go take the tape back a little bit, I think they were aware he was there, but they got a little greedy.
They thought, well, we'll be able to stop that play. Comes in front, gloved by Helvig, and we'll get a face-off to his left. Well, Matt Hotchkiss, when he goes to sleep tonight, might be replaying that one in his head. He made a great move.
He did, and had Fulcher going the other way, but boy, he's just able to get that left pad out.
Have another look at it here.
Look at that. Well,
good gravy. Well, Caden Fulcher was not drafted last year, but make that 2 years ago was his draft year, but he was signed as a free agent by the Detroit Red Wings, so we may see similar work at the NHL level in red and white in the years to come. Back to Stillman at the point, pressured by Sam Field. Bouncing puck comes to Rassinen. Rassinen gives it over to Hotchkiss, and he'll send it in. Fulcher out of his net behind his cage. He'll wait and then give it back to Lemke. Ahead to Studnich. Mitchell Byrne blocked one attempt. All the way back to the point. Stillman didn't see it. And down the ice it goes right to Fulcher. Gives it over to Lemke. Pass ahead for Kaliev. Staten Island native, New York. Comes free to Jackson, looking out front. Kick back to the point. Gleason. His shot goes off of Cranford, high up in the mesh. And we'll get a face-off to the right of Jeremy Helvig.
A lot of hockey players from Staten Island, actually.
A lot of Kalievs.
Yep.
No, that's not true. But yeah, you're right. Staten Island, the Mullen brothers.
Yep.
Came from Staten Island. You know who else was from Staten Island? Remember tough guy for the Rangers, Nick Fatio?
Yeah, Nick Fatio was from Staten Island.
He was. Hell's Kitchen native. Draw to the right of Helvig. Face-off won cleanly by Garrigan, and it splits the defense all the way back to the Hamilton zone. Mattman ahead for Kaliev. Bounces away from him. Garrigan sends it behind the net. Sean Day chasing after the puck. Placed up the boards for Robertson. Bounces away. Comes to Garrigan. Out front one-timer sent wide by Jackson. Cleared out of the zone by the Frontenac. Sent right back in by Hamilton. Day behind his net. Ahead for Hotchkiss. Tried to play it with his skate. Bounces away from him. Back to Nicholas Mattman. Up the boards for Kaliev. All the way across for Camano. He's rubbed out by Connor Ali, but he is able to keep going into the near corner to Moore. Out front one-timer goes off a skate and wide. Hanley down from the point. Gives it right to Cranford. Cranford chips it behind the net for Sean Day. Day will have some time to look up ice. Gives it to Hotchkiss. Former Guelph Storm plays it into the Hamilton zone. Cranford throws it out front. Comes to Cliff Booth. Shot that goes off the shoulder of Fulcher. Hotchkiss back to the point to Brotney. He plays it into the corner for Cranford. Tried the no-look pass. Goes off a skate. Comes to Camano. And now Ryan Moore has it for the Bulldogs across the blue line. Bitten far side. Tied up with Brotney. They come together. Camano just sends it down low. Collected by Paquette. Jacob Paquette all the way ahead to Captain Ted Nickel. Nickel ahead to Cranford. He one-hands it into the zone. Nickel and Bernie will forecheck. Loose to the far boards. Down hard from the point comes Brett Newman. His shot goes well wide, and down the ice it goes, and after it is Jacob Paquette. Ottawa native tries to get it ahead to Ted Nickel. Intercepted by Robert Thomas. He'll play it around the boards. After it is Day. Day collects it. Knocked away from him by Sagen. He's got a couple of Bulldogs on him. Paquette there to help out. Collected by Bernie. Moves it ahead to Ted Nickel. Nickel. Cross ice for Day. Day across the blue line, and Newman just goes in offside. Tried to skate the blue line, but he lifted the outside leg up.
Yep. Lifted his skate.
If he had just straddled it, he would have been fine. 6:07 gone in period number 2. This game tied up at 2. Kingston getting on the board first on a goal by Cliff Pugh. Hamilton came back with 2. And then Max Jones scored the equalizer. About 5 minutes left in that first period, and then had a bit of a meltdown, and we'll be watching the rest of the game from the Frontenac's box. Newman to the blue line. Stillman able to keep it in, sends it in deep. Ali tries to play it up the boards, comes to Strome. Wrist shot goes off a body over the net. And Twistle on the loose puck. He's watched by Mitchell Byrne. And Twistle a little trouble with it at the blue line. Newman, he was able to get it out. Played back in by the Bulldogs, so that'll be actually a hand pass. And a face-off in front of the Hamilton bench. You see a Kingston bench. Sam Field, you see just coming over the boards. Missed most of this year with a terrible knee injury. Got off to a great start. I think he had like 5 goals in 12 games after having 4 in his entire OHL career. Good to see him back in the lineup. Paquette up the boards. Gets by Nickel. Mattman ahead for Camano. Rodney able to play it out to center ice. Moore to Studenich. Tried to whip it across the ice, but that was blocked by Bernie. Nickel at the blue line puts Field offside, and we'll get a face-off right there. 7 minutes gone in this second period. There you see Sam Field, New Jersey native. One of your blood and guts kind of guys.
Yep.
Tops.
Part of the leadership group next year.
Yeah, potentially, for sure. He's a 19-year-old. It's always interesting when the spring comes around, the season ends, and you start wondering, who are the 20-year-olds that are going to stay and who's going to get moved, because they will have certainly more than they're allowed allotment of 20-year-old players. So we'll see who's in the black and gold next year for Kingston. Loose at center ice. Day is on it. Plays it ahead for Cliff Pooh. Pooh gives it back to Day. Over to Rassinen. Rassinen, nice short feed for Hotchkiss. Carries speed across the blue line. Wrist shot blockered away by Fulcher. Day into the corner for Jason Robertson. Robertson gives it to Hotchkiss. Pooh's out front. Instead back to the point to Rassinen. Rassinen, long wrist shot. Saved by Fulcher in traffic. Robertson was tied up. Couldn't get a stick free. Bouncing puck into the Kingston zone. Rassinen with Bitten after it. Reversed for Sean Day. Hard around the boards. First man to it will be Matthew Strome. Behind the net for Will Bitten. Bitten. Thomas side of the net. Just lost the angle. Out front. Blocked by Rassinen. He'll wrist it with everything he has around the boards. Entwistle couldn't touch it because it might have been too many men. Lemke back for it. Sends it around for Stillman. Coming down on top of him is Velarde. Bouncing puck comes to Brett Newman. Newman behind the net for Velarde. Velarde has it in his skates. Now he pushes it behind the net. Crunch goes somebody's stick. That was the forward Entwistle. Back to the point. Gets by Ali. Race for it. Bitten trying to get to that loose puck. Negate the icing. No. Byrne gets there first. And we'll get a face-off back in the Hamilton zone. 8:39 gone in the second period. There you see Mitchell Byrne picked up from Erie at the trade deadline. The forgotten trade that was made right at the deadline by the Frontenacs, giving them some depth back on the blue line.
Yeah, we had Brett Newman, who came in a trade from Erie last year for Warren Fogle. And
yeah, we saw Warren Fogle play some NHL games this year.
Yeah. Scored a goal in his first game.
He did. I think he was almost a point a game in his debut with the Hurricanes this year. Ali wristed, blocked by Stillman, caught up in his paraphernalia momentarily. Newman tries to play it into the corner. That's blocked. Turned over. Newman trying to work free. Puck loose. Now it's sent away by Entwistle, but nice play at the point. Kept in, sent just wide. Newman tries to play it in front. Goes off the side of the net to Velarde. Velarde out to Newman. Frontenacs just trying to control the puck. Ali tried to play it in deep. Newman all tied up, goes down, and that will allow Lemke to work it out of the zone. Anxious moments there from really kind of both the Frontenacs and the Bulldogs. Kingston could have controlled. They might have been able to apply some pressure, but they just couldn't get their handle on the puck. Ali out the far side, turns away from the forecheckers. Now he's got lots of time. Looks up ice, loses the handle. Racing for the puck is Moore. Over to Camano. Good save there by Helvig. Wrist shot. Save. Sudanich right on the rebound. Newman can't get it out of the zone. Camano gives it to Moore. All of this started when Connor Ali lost the handle on the puck deep in his zone. Maybe he heard me. Thought, hey, I got lots of time. Mattin out to center ice. Sudanich leaves it for Moore. Back to Sudanich at the blue line. Gives it to Camano. Camano waits. All the way across for Ben Gleason. Gleason to Ryan Moore. Moore, wrist shot. That's blocked by Sudanich. Right into the skates of Helvig. Just pushed wide by Camano. Back to the point to Gleason. Brotny and Camano doing battle behind the net. Now they're out front. Backhand by Camano, pushed just wide. Bernie to the point. Gleason couldn't keep it in, and Camano and Brotny stare at each other after doing battle, and they'll have words as we go to the break. We'll be back with more 2-2 midway through the second at the Rogers K-Rock Center on your TV.
If you are ready to play, we are ready to pay. Kiwanis TV Bingo is coming your way. Pick up those $3 bingo cards at any one of almost 200 vendors around the Hamilton community. Tune into Cable 14 on Monday nights at 7 p.m. and win cash. Over $150,000 up for grabs this season. You won't want to miss it. Break a dabber.
Emergency alerts of life-threatening events help keep us safe. That's why governments and broadcasters have come together to bring more alerts to more Canadians faster. Introducing Alert Ready, Canada's new emergency alert system. When an alert is broadcast, it's time to act. Learn more at alertready.ca.
Well, there you see Kingston City Hall in the background.
Prince George Hotel.
There you go. Again, I always feel like I should get some kind of stipend from the local tourism agency, but again,
which is right across the street from the Prince George, by the way. Yeah, there you go.
But for those, for our friends watching in Southern Ontario, get some time this summer. This is a fabulous spot when the warm weather comes. Beautiful waterfront. Walters, he'll send it in. Rassinen able to chip it by the man. Robertson ahead for Hotchkiss. He'll backhand it in deep. Who tries to sidestep a defenseman, and that's going to be a penalty against Walters. Boy, that's a tough one. Yeah. All Walters was doing was skating.
Yeah.
That's Cliff Pooh drawing the penalty. Well, the Frontenacs will get their first power play opportunity. Hamilton had 3, I think, in the first period. You see Cliff Pooh trying to sidestep the defenseman. Flies right on the dot. Finally comes back to Day. Quickly over to Gabe Vilardi. Shooting position right off the post and right underneath Caden Fulcher.
He had all kinds of time, and Day just couldn't get him the puck. And when he did, it was behind him, so he had to correct himself, but still had plenty of time. And
he's got an NHL shot. We've seen it.
Does he ever?
There we saw it there as he had to take it on the backhand and then set himself up and ding-dong off the post. Hamilton still tied at 2. So it's Newman out there with Vilardi and Pooh. Robertson and Day are the point men. Puck goes through Vilardi's legs. Oh, well, we got the buzzer going. I'm not sure. Maybe they got a problem with the clock.
The clock didn't start when they dropped the puck.
Yeah. So we'll get things cleared up at the timekeeper's box, and then we'll drop the puck again. The Frontenac's power play was on fire against North Bay.
Yes.
Not so much against Hamilton. It has been a tough road to hoe with the man advantage.
Well, in the last couple of games, just haven't had the opportunity either.
No, that is true. But I think into Tuesday's game, or pardon me, Sunday's game, I think they were 1 for 10 with the man advantage.
Yeah, they wanted to review the Vilardi shot.
Ah, all right.
Just to ensure that it was not a goal. And we have Ted Baker beside us, who was telling us how the apparatus
very
works.
Interesting
A very interesting conversation before the game.
Ted, vice president of the OHL. So there's 2 guys up in the review box here. One of them is one of the officiating directors of officiating. And then they're back in Toronto as well. And there's input from the video review team in Toronto. So it takes some of the emotion out of those judgments, which I think is a great idea in the playoffs. Day across the blue line, gives it to Pooh. Short feed for Vilardi, behind the net for Sean Day. Day circling the zone. Day turns it over, but it comes right to Robertson. To Pooh, back to Robertson. Frontenacs trying to set things up, out to Newman. Pass was in his skates, couldn't get the shot off. And now cleared down the ice by Will Bitton. Robertson plays it ahead for Newman. Newman gives it to Pooh. Pooh all the way over to Vilardi. Coming down to Robertson on the back end. Over to Cliff Pooh, one-timer. It was in his skates. Not much on that shot. Good save, though, by Fulcher. Newman gives it to Sean Day. Good pressure here by the Frontenacs with the man advantage. Day over to Robertson. Robertson tries the cross-ice feed. Blocked by Strome. Far side, Vilardi waits for it. He'll be pressured by Entwistle. Vilardi takes it behind the net. Pooh's out front. Comes to Robertson. Back to Day. Day to Velarde. Bounces off his stick. Tries to swipe at it. Now Strome's on it. Thought about trying to pass it ahead to Entwistle and decides just to send it down the ice. So good puck possession there by the Frontenacs, and one shot there by Cliff Pugh. But there wasn't much on it. Day to a streaking Cliff Pugh across the blue line. Pugh over to Robertson. Robertson tried to play it in front, but his stick was checked just as he did. Comes to Velarde at the blue line. Will it be kept in by Day? Yes, good hustle by the defenseman. To Pugh. Pass for Velarde, but he was checked there very nicely by Isaac Nurse. Out front for Pugh. Tries the no-look backhand feed, blocked by Hanley. Off the bench comes Emil Rasanen. Off the post. That's 2 posts for the Frontenacs. Velarde on the loose puck. Both teams at 5 aside. Now it comes free to Connor Walters, who's out of the box. He'll play it down the ice, and back for it is Rasanen. Oh, they're going to call that icing. That's a tight call. Ding dong, ding dong. Somebody answered that phone for the Frontenacs.
Two posts.
First it was Velarde, then it was Rasanen. Well, the goalie's best friends are those metal bars behind him. .652 left to go in the second period. Tied at 2.
And they're going to have another look at that Rasanen shot just to make sure that it wasn't indeed a post.
Well, both of them came right out.
Yeah, and you could hear them even up here.
There you see Rasanen's opportunity. Heading off the crossbar.
No goal?
No, sir. Moore against Bernie on the draw. Flies right on the dot. Ends up on the stick of Gleason. His clearing attempt is now on the stick of Strome. Blocked initially by Jacob Brotney. A little ping pong there at center ice.
Brotney does a great job just to control that puck.
Stick and feed and stick and feed. And then he was able to send it back into the zone. Brotney on the puck again. Fulcher behind his net, gives it over to Mattinen. He just gives it back over to Gleason, and that will give the Bulldogs a little bit of time to set things up. Benjamin Gleason, veteran defenseman, right up the middle for Camano. He'll angle it into the zone. Back forward is Paquette, watched by Studnich. New Jersey against Nashville at the end boards there. Studnich, a draft pick of the Devils, and Paquette drafted by Nashville. Mattinen at the blue line, knocked by him by Nickel. Gleason chips it back into the zone. Brotney back for it. Brotney ahead for Ted Nickel. Gives it to Cranford. Cranford across the blue line. Looking out front. Backhand feed goes off the side of the net. Nickel all tied up with Entwistle. Ali couldn't handle it at the point, and here's a break for Hamilton. Bitten down the near side. Wrist shot high and wide on the blocker side. Stillman, good hustle to keep it in at the point. His pass goes off a stick, goes behind the net. Ali will get another chance with the puck now. Played ahead for Nickel, missed him, and Lemke will drift back to his zone and then give it to Mackenzie Entwistle. Entwistle at the blue line. Gets the angle on Byrne, takes it into the corner. Now it comes out the near side, backhands it to the point to Lemke. Quick wrist shot, that's tipped by Strome, but saved at the same time, essentially, by Helvig. Ali and Entwistle doing battle. Now it squirts out right onto the stick of Brett Newman, and away go the Frontenacs 3-on-2. Ahead for Hotchkiss. He's got Field with him. Hotchkiss over to Field. He scores! And then slams into the post, but he'll take the pain for the goal. 3-2 Frontenacs.
That play started in the defensive zone with Brett Newman on the half boards being very patient. He could have gone down to help out, but stayed up in point coverage and got that puck and went down in transition. That's where it started.
And how about Matthew Hotchkiss waiting out the defenseman? Got down low. I thought it might have been too late for that pass, but he was able to get it to Field, and Field made no mistake. We'll have a look at the second half of that play. There's Newman to Hotchkiss. And Field just charging like a bulldog right down the middle. Fitting somehow, I guess, for a one-goal lead. So a late goal in the second period for the Frontenacs gives them a one-goal lead. Rasanen, his feed for Pooh, missed him. Back comes Thomas. Thomas, one-timer by Sagen off a body and wide. Robertson, right up the middle to center ice where Stillman has it. Rasanen from center ice. In the air, knocked out of the air by Pooh. Comes to Pringle, and now they're going to call it a high stick. And we're going to face off where? Probably in front of the Kingston bench. Nope, we're going to go in front of the Hamilton bench.
So it's going to be Sam Field with his first goal of the playoffs. The Matt Hotchkiss and Brent Newman at 15:03.
Well, you know, the last game, Paul Larrabee was in the lineup. You know, as that, what would that be, your
fourth line guy?
Yeah, your fourth line. Didn't play. Did not see one shift. Tonight, Larrabee out, Field in. But Field's been in the league for 4 years.
Yes.
Coach Jared Verity, probably a little more confidence in having him on the ice periodically. And there he is on a 3-on-2, scoring the go-ahead goal.
Yeah, drop the puck. Just drop the puck.
That's your outside voice.
Well,
I don't know if I can hear you, just so you know.
I'm biting my tongue for 2 games. I mean,
yes. Although it's been much better tonight, because the game the other night, boy, oh boy. Paquette, still ringing around the boards. Far side, Stillman. Velarde tried to step around him and get the angle on the puck.
Velarde went to the wrong side of the puck there.
Well, I think he was trying to beat, you know, trying to take a different path.
But
didn't work.
Yeah.
Newman on the loose puck. Trying to chip it up the boards. Blocked by Thomas, and then Nurse will get on it and send it back in deep. Sagen going on hard against Paquette. Up the boards. Bounces off a body. Comes to Newman. 2-on-1 with Velarde. Broken play. Back come the Frontenacs. Velarde wait. Toe drag wrist shot. Wide on the blocker side. And one of the Hamilton defensemen goes into the net. And the face-off will be in the Hamilton zone to the right of Fulcher. Great patience there by Velarde.
Just a toe drag, and he doesn't often miss the net.
Nope.
Yeah.
Kind of a nothing play, and all of a sudden it was a 2-on-1 for Kingston. There you see the tail end of it. Boy, oh boy. So Velarde's had a post and a glorious opportunity from the slot. Nice play at the blue line by Paquette to stop that outlet opportunity for Hamilton. Turned over the blue line again. Nickel. He'll move in. Shot from an angle. Stop. Another save there by Fulcher. That one on Cranford. No doubt a little bit of giddy up in the Frontenac's game right now. Ted Nickel trying to step around Gleason. Turned aside by the Hamilton defenseman. Comes to Cranford's got to wait. Now he sends it in as Nickel had to clear. Back for it is Mattinen. Just over 3 minutes left to go in this second period. Frontenacs with a 1-goal lead. Hanley up the middle for Moore. Misses him. Glances off Day. Day pushes it into the corner. Round the boards. Paquette's got to get after it. Had to miss his own man, and thankfully Hamilton was on a change, so that allows Nickel to catch up to the loose puck. Bernie all the way over to Day. Wrist shot. No, he goes for the pass, and Bernie misses it. He had the whole net to shoot at. Hotchkiss. Chip and chase after it. Pushes it by Bitten. Robertson in the corner. Couldn't control. Hotchkiss there to help out. Good work there by Nicholas Mattinen to get through a couple of Frontenacs and get it out to center ice for Matthew Strome. And Twistle after it. Being watched by Byrne. Byrne pushes him into the corner. Out front to Bitten. Knocked away from him. Sent back deep into the Kingston zone. Byrne tied up with Entwistle. That's a bit of a size mismatch. I think Entwistle's got about 4 or 5 inches on Mitchell Byrne, but the Frontenac's defenseman right on his hip, and out of the zone it goes. Walters couldn't control the pass back to the point. Rasanen inside his zone. He's got time. Rasanen ahead for Hotchkiss. Tries to get it to Robertson. A little too far for him. Walters will catch up to the loose puck. Plays it ahead for Nurse. He's on a bit of a break, and then caught up there by Sean Day and sent to the ice. Grotny up the boards. Intercepted by Nurse. Sent back in deep. Robert Thomas to Sagen. Sagen looks around as he drifts to the top of the zone. Decides to shoot on net and stopped by Helvig. And we're going to face off to the right of the Kingston netminder. Just under 90 seconds left in this second period. Kingston with a goal by Sam Field for a 1-goal lead in this Game 4 of this Eastern Conference final series.
Well, it's been a back and forth period, but it's safe to say this has been Kingston's best period of the entire series.
Velarde will take the face-off against Thomas. Make that Sajin. Day drifts out from behind the net, has a look around, gives it over to his partner Rasanen. The Finnish defenseman looks up to make a play, loses the handle. Sajin gives it to Thomas. Thomas goes wide on Day, looking out front, right onto the stick of Rasanen, chips it ahead, a little behind Newman, and collected by Velarde. Velarde, Rasanen up on the rush, and just offside goes Emil Rasanen. Well, that's a couple of times this period that Kingston defensemen have looked up to make a pass and have the puck not be there.
Yeah.
Happened to Connor Ali earlier in the period. .103 left to go. Face off in front of the Kingston bench. There you see Emil Rasanen looking skyward. Not sure if he was checking the clock or thanking the hockey gods, but regardless, bouncing puck in on Fulcher. Lemke there to collect it, right up the middle, blocked by Brotny. Tried to play it over to Cranford. Too much mustard on that one, couldn't handle it. Kingston blue line, turned back aside. Bernie trying to get it to Cranford. Goes around Stillman, throws it in front, but Nickel just not there in time. Paquette off the point. Tied up with Studenich. Back to the point to Bernie. Wrist shot. Tipped just wide by Cranford. Loose puck collected by the Bulldogs. Lemke tried to get it to Studenich, missed him. Paquette back into the Hamilton zone. Stillman to Lemke. Lemke, his pass goes off the stick of Hotchkiss out to center ice. Late opportunity here for Hamilton. Camano pushing wide on Brotny as they go together to the end boards. They've done battle heartily in this second period. They continue to do battle, cross-checking each other. Pooh is tied up in the corner, and that will draw the final buzzer. Cliff Pooh, no helmet. Camano skates away after getting tied up with Brotny for the umpteenth time in this second frame, and teams will head to the dressing room after a feisty finish to the second period. So the only goal in period number 2 scored by Sam Field. The Bulldogs head to the dressing room a little discombobulated, I think they were in that second half of that second period. We'll come back with more from the Rogers K-Rock Center. Alan Edmansky with a nice level interview when we return. You're watching the OHL tonight on your TV.
The Ontario Junior B Lacrosse League returns to Cable 14 for the 2018 season this spring with select Thursday night games featuring the Hamilton Bengals. Catch the fast-paced, hard-hitting action of the OJBLL as the Bengals look to build on last year's regular season and playoff success. Coverage of Bengals lacrosse starts with their home opener against the Welland Generals on Thursday, May 3rd at 8 p.m. live from Mountain Arena on Cable 14 and streaming online at cable14now.com.
You can never really be ready for the news that it's not an ear infection anymore, that it's cancer.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation gives hope, strength.
2. As he comes in and...
Next, yes, Sam Field. Tapped in deep, and that'll be offside against the Bull. After 40 minutes so far. Wandering aimlessly on the campus of Queen's University, not far from the Rogers K-Rock Center. Welcome back to the rink. Third period action up next. Game 4 of this Eastern Conference Final. Hamilton up 3-0 in games. Frontenacs with a 3-2 lead after 40 minutes so far this evening. There you see the Hamilton bench. The last half of that second period, Tim, Hamilton definitely wasn't on their game.
No, they weren't. No. Well,
were...
Kingston had them on their heels.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see what happens here in the third. You know, the one thing about both these teams, though, Tim, is lots of veteran players. And I'm sure that once John Gruden got the Bulldogs in the room, was probably able to say something, or maybe didn't even say anything.
I think you have to. It's not their first rodeo.
Absolutely. Bulldogs send it into the Kingston zone. Thomas after, being watched by Cliff Pugh. Day, watched by Nurse. Sent into the near corner. After it is Rassinen. Looking ahead for Robertson. Decides to just flip it in the air. Stillman will get it. Gives it over to Nurse. But Brandon Sajjan was trapped in deep. And that'll be offside against the Bulldogs 24 seconds in. Sam Field with the go-ahead goal for the Kingston Frontenacs. Yes, Sam Field.
First goal of the playoffs?
First goal of the playoffs. Owner of, I think, now 10 career OHL goals in 4 years, and none bigger than the one scored in period number 2 here tonight. In case you missed it, Max Jones tossed from this game back in the first period after scoring the tying goals. Next shift, got in a bit of a dust-up, let everyone on the ice know how he felt, and got 4 minutes, a 10-minute misconduct, and a game misconduct. Bulldogs lose it at the blue line. Delayed offside. Mattinen gives it back to Camano. Tries to get it to Moore in his skates. Bernie has it. Little trouble with it. Now looking up ice. Fans on the dump in. Gives it right to Camano, to a streaking Studnich. Knocked off his stick by Jacob Brotny, who has played a real strong game tonight.
Kingston's got to start being physical here.
And there's Ted Nickel on cue, bumping into Justin Lemke at the end boards. Riley Stillman after the loose puck. Played ahead for Antwistle. He'll just chip it in. Helvig out of his net. Helps it around the boards. Strome will get to the puck first. Matthew Strome. One-timer by Antwistle. Good stop there by Helvig. Rebound collected by Byrne. And away go the Frontenacs. Long dump in by Newman. Big hop off the end boards. Puck comes to the point. Byrne able to keep it in. Tried to get it in deep, but blocked by Strome. And he'll move it out of the zone. Gets it ahead to Bitton, and he'll send it in deep and peel off on a change. Byrne around for Ali. Quickly back to Mitchell Byrne. That'll shake off the last forechecker, and that'll give Mitchell Byrne lots of time to look up ice. Gets it up to Newman in his skates a little bit. Newman, second attempt. Did it go on the Kingston bench? Nope. Finally found the ice. Newman off the linesman and out of the zone. Robert Thomas chips it over Ali, gets on the loose puck, tied up with Byrne out front. One-timer by Sajjan. Puck is loose in the crease. Jamming at it was Thomas, but Helvig has it pushed under him, and now we'll have some discussion out in the slot. But you can't blame the Bulldogs for that.
No.
They were looking for the loose puck.
They ever. And Thomas has got to end up in his backside there, with all due respect. But they did neutralize him.
Yeah, absolutely. And Helvig was able to find the puck and freeze it. I'm not sure he froze it or if it was just a case of the referee losing sight and blowing it down. But a very innocent looking play. Helvig doing snow angels for a second. Draw to his right. And there we go. Robert Thomas will take the face off. Good clean win there for the Bulldogs center. Shot by Hanley. Big rebound. Comes up to Hotchkiss. Away comes Sean Day. He's up there with Robertson. Hotchkiss on the far side. Short feed for Robertson. I don't think Jason saw it until the last second as it went through the skates of the defenseman. Jason Robertson high in the zone. Gives it over to Rassinen. Shot. That's blocked by Hanley. Taken into the end boards by Cliff Pugh. Puck comes to Sajjan. Gives it to Connor Walters. He'll bring it up ice. Walters over to Isaac Nurse. Bounces away from him. Wrist shot wide on the glove side. Comes all the way out to the blue line and pushed out of the zone by Hotchkiss. Ryan Moore back to his own blue line. Watched by Cliff Pugh. Feed ahead for Sajjan. He's bumped by Cranford, and now it's across the blue line. But Studnich was in ahead of that play, so that'll be offside against the Bulldogs. Just over 3 minutes into this third period.
Studnich was about 20 feet offside.
Well, I couldn't see him.
He was so far offside, we almost missed it.
The linesman missed him. It's like the Stanley Cup final there. The Islanders and the Flyers? I don't remember. Who did they beat the first year? Bob Nystrom scored the big goal.
The Flyers.
I think it was Clark Gillies was about 7 feet offside.
Yeah.
Benjamin Gleason deep in his zone.
The spring of 1980.
Is that right? That's right. It was that was the year that Butch Goring was the big story with the Islanders.
Butch Goring used to go on a 10-day road trip with just a shaving kit.
That's right. I've heard that story. Paquette at his own blue line. Brotny off the boards for Tyler Burney. One hands it into the zone. Burney at the blue line, just offside. Here you see Tyler Burney. Had a great, well, we'll call it third year. He played a handful of games in his rookie year, but got regular ice last year. And really, that line again of Burney, Cranford, and Nickel back in the fall, Tim. They were carrying this team for about 3 weeks.
They're one of the hottest.